Going on, y'all? So as you guys know, we have my car and now we have the new 260,000 mile E90 LCI. We got the wheels mounted and it's looking pretty good for a 328. I mean, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna make this thing pretty aggressive or not, or just leave it as is, maybe lower it, do most of the maintenance, and then just have a nice reliable car, or if I'm gonna go a little extra. And what I think I'm gonna do today is, I've always wanted yellow brake calipers. I've never had a car I could do it on without it, not matching per se. I've had like an auto gray car, I could have done those, but I did red originally. This car, yellow will not go with the orange in my opinion. I think it'll look like a McDonald's car. So I'm either gonna stick with that color or do possibly orange on the calipers. It might be too much, I'm not too sure yet. I've seen some car, if I do the big brake kit, I might do orange on orange, but regardless, I can't do much on that one. But this car, I feel like yellow will suit it perfectly. I think it'll make it pop, right? Yellow there, little yellow accent there, and it'll stick with the I guess the color scheme of the rims and the car. But yeah, I think it'll make the car pop regardless. So I'm gonna go pull this inside. I know it's raining, but you can do this with the heat gun. Just heat up everything so everything's nice and warm, so everything sticks. But I'm gonna do one side for now, and then we'll see what that looks like. Probably the driver's side, and then do those two, front and rear, see how it looks, and then see if it's worth it. All right, I got the car in the garage now, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this wheel off and start cleaning it up. I got a wheel brush, a brush wheel. Is it a wheel brush or brush wheel? And I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the caliper, clean up the rotor, even though it's a little rusty from where it sat probably before. The rotor actually has a lot of life left though, so I'm not gonna replace it just yet, but I will clean it up and then take the brake caliper apart. Some people just mask off the rotor and they spray them. I like to take it apart. I like that little retainer clip to still be silver. I like the brake pad to still be black, and so I take it all apart just so I only paint the main components. Just because I'm not saying if you do it the other way it looks bad, it's just this looks like a cleaner job, and it makes you kind of guess if they came yellow or not, even though most people aren't questioning that. It does look a little cleaner in my eyes, so I'm gonna go and do that, go the extra mile for myself and for this car, and then yeah, hopefully it looks good. So here's the current setup. As you can see here, it's pretty rusty everywhere. These don't look too bad. They just look a little dirty, no rust here. The brakes do actually look like they have been replaced recently. What brand, no idea, but this is pretty rusty as you can see here. Just a lot of surface rust. You get rust here, it makes the wheel hard to come off. I will put some copper anti-seize on there just to help it come off and on. I won't actually take the rotor off, I'll leave it on there, but I'll try to clean up some of this area, paint this, and then hopefully have a nice wheel setup when we're done. So we got the caliper off now. You can go ahead and pull the pads off. Here's the first pad, here's our second pad. So they're still pretty new, not really worth replacing. These are probably still 7 or 8s. This is still pretty high. I'll go ahead and shape them, put some anti-squeal stuff on there, and then lube them back up, because these used to have lubricant on them. They're pretty worn out, so I'll clean these up as well. Just throw them on there, and it'll kind of be like a brake refresh. So I'll go to clean these up, grind them down, and then it'll be better for the car, and we'll be looking a lot cleaner with these new calipers and caliper paint. All right, so I went ahead and removed the caliper, removed the caliper bracket, pads, everything, cleaned it up. It looks pretty good now. It should be ready to spray a few times, give it a sniff test, and then we'll go ahead and spray this, let it sit for a few minutes, hit it with another coat, probably do 3 or 4 coats. A professional job, you do the whole thing. I'm gonna be honest, since this thing is, actually I might actually cover the piston too. Since this thing is just 328, you're gonna see it on the ground, that's it. I'm gonna mainly do this front part here, from here to here. I mean, I'll definitely spray this a couple times, but I'm not gonna worry about perfection. I'm more worried about the front here and inside these little grooves where you'll be able to see from when you're looking through the wheels. So if you see this a little lighter back here, don't worry about it, or in my case, don't worry about it, but it's up to you if you want to do it that way. So I'm gonna just mask off this the piston over here, and then spray the first couple coats. So I went ahead and also pre-sprayed the actual caliper bracket. Looks pretty good, nice and thick all around. As you can see here, some of the spots you won't even see. I didn't worry about getting them very well. Just the main front part, which would be this way actually, and this is the top end. So it's gonna look pretty sick, and I think the yellow, it's a lot brighter than I expected. So I'm actually pretty stoked because it's gonna look a lot better than I thought. All right, everything is nice and painted up. So now we're gonna reinstall everything we have just done. And yeah, that's pretty much it. These pads do look like they're a bit small for these rotors. I think they may be the incorrect ones, only because it has a big lip here of extra space that isn't getting used, as you can see here. So I don't know if these are the right ones and the rotor's wrong, or they're supposed to be like this. Usually I remember them having a little bit less of a lip here, but I may be wrong. They're still working. I'll look right in the future, if anything. So I'm gonna slap it all together, and then yeah, have our freshly painted yellow calipers, which should look pretty good. All right, just like that, we are done. I put that caliper retaining pin here, retaining clip, and then now I put some anti-seize on the hub, and now I'm ready to put the wheel on for the rear one. I still gotta do this up front, but it's not too bad because the front's not easier, but I just take my time, try to do a good job, like I said, because this looks pretty good now. So now let's see what it looks like with the wheel on. All right, and just like that, the wheel is on, and my dog's walking in front of the light again, thank you. And that is the final result. I can't lie, that looks pretty good from this angle. Clean set of wheels, freshly painted calipers, and I think it looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna work on the front, and then I love this, I'm not gonna lie, it looks so good in my opinion. Just kind of like a bit of a custom touch to a stock car. That looks pretty sweet. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the front, and then we'll have a fully set of painted calipers, yellow. I've always wanted yellow, and now you see why, because that looks amazing. But again, I've never had a car I could do yellow, but now I think these two colors combined are where it's at. So let me go and get working on the front, and then we'll show you guys what it looks like when all four are done. All right, so here's the final result with these wheels. Looks pretty good here, and it looks pretty good up here as well. So this thing looks 100 times more aggressive, even though it's just the calipers, but that is a pretty good end result. I'm pretty happy. I guess I got to see whether this stuff cleans off easily. Hopefully I could use some degreaser, clean the calipers, and it should come up pretty good. But even if this lasts, you know, a year, for 10 bucks, I can't complain very much. It's not like powder coating them where you pay a lot more, but you do get more of a silky smooth finish, so you can clean them a little easier. But I haven't done this side yet, so you can kind of get a picture of what it's like. See this side? So it looks good with the wheels and everything, but when you go to the other side, it looks 100 times better. And that's basically because of the just literally the paint on the calipers. That's it. So this thing, it looks so good to me. I don't know what it is. The yellow on the BMRs, I've always wanted to spec a BMW like this, because it's a pretty typical spec, right? BMRs or M3 CSL reps with your E46, your E90. So this definitely fits into that I guess you could say the niche, but it's pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm low-key mad this looks better than that, but regardless, do it. 10 bucks, take your time, worth the time and effort you're putting to them, and because you guys can see, it's definitely just worth it. So get it done. $10, high temp paint, and until then, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.